Next at 10, Chicago police increasing patrols downtown after social media posts calling for another teen takeover.
Cheryl says we're in for some warmer weather for your weekend.
And an emergency bridge closure that could impact your commute for the next 6 months. Right now at 10, the new steps being taken to stop the so-called teen takeovers in downtown Chicago.
Let's hear from the young people and empower them to have a voice.
What the I-Team is learning about the pilot from the Chicago area who was among the 6 people killed in that helicopter crash in New York City.
And part of the reason why he was standing is because he had a work ethic unlike any other.
Finally tracking some warmer weather this weekend. Rising temperatures, just how mild it gets.
A family surprise reunion as a National Guard soldier returns from a 10-month deployment.
Live from Chicago, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 10 starts right now.
Chicago police on alert tonight after recent social media posts called for another round of so-called teen takeovers this weekend in downtown Chicago. Those posts called for crowds to gather this evening at Millennium Park, but they did not show up.
People living and working downtown on edge after this. And a teen was shot during one of those takeovers last month in Streeterville. Here's Eric Hong with a look at how both police and community groups are working to keep the peace downtown.
There have been few, if any, reports of problems tonight related to large gatherings. Police have had a noticeable presence, and CPD and CPS are now partnering on a message aimed at parents.
At Millennium Park, a large teen gathering promoted on social media did not materialize, but police and representatives from community groups were ready.
When we see teens, we stop, talk to them, engage with them. You know, we see what's on their mind, see how they feeling.
At the Streeterville movie theater, popular with young people, police and barricades, the business imposing an age restriction for unaccompanied minors. This, as a series of so-called teen takeovers in recent years, led CPS and CPD to warn school families in an email that anyone failing to comply with orders to disperse could be arrested.
Hey, parents, we need you. Have a talk with them, you know? Let them know, you know, it's good to go out with your friends and enjoy the city. Don't be disruptive, you know, because that leads to other things happening.
Last month, in 2 separate incidents, gatherings in Streeterville led to gunfire and people being wounded.
The level of violence in these incidents is escalating. The problem itself is getting more serious and demanding solutions.
Northside Alderman Brian Hopkins says he'll introduce an ordinance next Wednesday in City Council, changing the downtown curfew for minors from 10 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mayor Brandon Johnson opposes that move and favors partnering with neighborhood groups to invest in more youth programs.
Stuff for studios, basketball, whatever activity students like, you know, just more programming for students to be themselves.
Let's hear from the young people and empower them to have a voice in what is it that, you know, they want to do.
Mayor Johnson says members of the business community have partnered with the city to invest in youth programs, but he's calling on business leaders to do even more. In Streeterville, Eric Hong, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Eric, thank you for the report. A live look outside right now. It is a clear but cool night across the Chicago area. The city looking beautiful.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous out there. Just so peaceful. But Cheryl says we are in for a very beautiful weekend, Cheryl. Happy Friday night.
We made it into the weekend. Weather improving. It's nice out there right now. A little cool, but we still have mostly clear skies. High pressure and control taking us into our Saturday. So we'll be greeted with that sunshine tomorrow. Right now, pretty much in the mid to low 40s. You can see some of us down into the upper 30s. We'll see these temperatures drop off just a few more degrees overnight, so we'll wake up in the 30s, but then we start to rise as we head into our Saturday 50s across the area. The exception, the lakefront, wind still out of the east, so that will be a factor, and then up into the 60s on Sunday. We are tracking more cloud cover. Any rain chances, we'll time that out coming up. Back to you.
Cheryl, thank you. Tonight, the National Transportation Safety Board is trying to figure out why a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River, killing all 6 people on board. Investigators arriving in Jersey City today to get their first look at the wreckage. The ABC 7 I-Team has learned that the pilot of that helicopter was from the Chicago area. Shonquise Johnson was a Navy veteran who held several pilot jobs. Friends of Sean Johnson say flying helicopters was all he ever wanted to do.
The man was an amazing pilot. I highly doubt it's going to come back to anything that he did wrong.
Johnson was the pilot of a helicopter flying over the Hudson River that crashed on Thursday. There were no survivors. The passengers on board were a Siemens executive from Spain and his family. CCTV video shows the helicopter in distress, passing behind a building before falling towards the river. We have frozen the video before the crash.
He had a work ethic unlike any other.
Nico Tiapula says he served with Johnson in the Navy on the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier for 3 years.
Everyone that he has ever been around with, he's always been very nice, very outgoing.
The ABC 7i team finding Johnson's Facebook post showing he trained and worked as a helicopter pilot in several states, even spending time as an aerial firefighter. Before moving to New York, Johnson worked as a helicopter tour pilot here in Chicago. Fly Heli had no comment. Meanwhile, Johnson's friends are missing the man who they considered a brother.
He loved to joke with his friends, including myself as well. So, we always laughed. There's always a whole lot of laughter as well.
The NTSB says Johnson had 788 hours of flight time, but investigators are still calculating how much time he spent in the helicopter that crashed. Dive teams still searching for pieces of that aircraft as investigators are trying to figure out why it broke apart.
Also from the I-Team tonight, prosecutors say two brothers who are behind bars right now in Cook County are charged in connection to a 2016 sexual assault and kidnapping. But there's a surprising reason why detectives tracked them down nearly a decade later. Investigative reporter Liz Nagy has details from police headquarters tonight.
Police say it was a violent kidnapping, robbery, and sexual assault left unsolved for years. Then prosecutors say one of the alleged suspects pursued a job here at the Chicago Police Department. It was 2016 when prosecutors say this pair of brothers, Stefan Arnold and Cheryl Harris, and their cousin, who since died, kidnapped and took part in the sexual assault and robbery of two women. Prosecutors say it began at Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg with sneaker shopping and ended inside a home near 72nd and South Aberdeen on Chicago's South Side. There, prosecutors say Stefan Arnold robbed the women of their jewelry at gunpoint and forced them to strip naked and have sex with his brother, Cheryl Harris, and another man. The victims, prosecutors say, reported the crime at a local hospital, and Chicago police responded and took the report, but the investigation was ultimately suspended. Then prosecutors explained Friday in court. In October of 2024, Arnold applied to the Chicago Police Department and consented to a polygraph where he made admissions regarding this incident. Arnold's admitted details allowed detectives to cross-reference the facts and reopen the 2016 investigation, leading to the brothers' arrests earlier this week. A spokesperson for the Chicago Police Department would not comment on Stefan Arnold's reported job application, but told the I-Team in part, the polygraph examination is an important component of the background process to determine an applicant's eligibility for hire. Now, instead of working for Chicago police, Stefan Arnold and his brother are locked in jail. Prosecutors say it was the victims who helped identify the brothers before they were arrested on Wednesday. So far, neither has entered pleas for the charges against them. Reporting at Chicago Police Headquarters, Liz Nagy, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Liz, thank you for that report tonight. Now to a suburban crime spree. Caught on video, police are looking for the crew who smashed their way into at least 13 businesses. The break-ins happening in Mokina, Frankfort, and Tinley Park early this morning. Surveillance video from multiple businesses show that the suspects had quick work. Police say 5 shops were hit in the same Mokina strip mall alone.
Was totally gone. It's not the first time that we've been broken into and they didn't find anything. I was happy all my stuff was still here.
Police say they chased the suspect's vehicle to Chicago, where they found it abandoned. As of right now, no arrests have been made.
Some closure tonight for the family of 2 brothers killed 30 years ago in Cicero. Police say they finally made an arrest in this case, charging that man, Daniel Flores, with 2 counts of first-degree murder. John and Michael Fields were gunned down in April of 1995. Their case went cold for years until a key witness came forward.
She had a relationship with our person of interest at the time, which later became an offender. So we had a hard time finding her because she was in Mexico with him.
Flores was arrested in Mexico. He was extradited this week and will be back in court May 2nd.
A judge rules an activist from Columbia University can be deported from the United States. Mahmoud Khalil is a green card holder who is in the country legally. While he was a student at Columbia, he helped lead protests against the war in Gaza. The Trump administration calls Khalil national security risk. Well, his lawyers have been given April 23rd as a deadline to file applications for relief to stop his deportation. And starting tomorrow, the government must provide daily updates on the efforts to return a Maryland man who was wrongly deported to El Salvador. A federal judge slamming the Trump administration's handling of Kilmar Abrego Garcia's case. The judge has set a follow-up hearing for April 15th, the day after El Salvador's president is set to visit the White House.
As stocks closed the week higher today following one of the most volatile weeks in Wall Street history. The Dow Jones jumped 1.5%, NASDAQ increased 2%, and the S&P 500 also rose 1.8%. Today, China raised its own tariff on the United States in response to the 145% tariff President Trump announced on Chinese goods earlier this week. The president's saying tonight he expects he can make a trade deal with China's president.
3 people killed as a small plane crashes near a very busy Florida interstate.
The Coachella Carmageddon, music fans waiting in traffic for more than 8 hours to get into the Southern California Festival.
And the very special connection 3 generations of one family have to a Chicago hospital.
Children's soccer team fighting for almost $13,000. The battle with their former sports center.
With no notice or anything, they just closed the doors.
How Jason Knowles gets results. Monday at 10.
3 people died when a small plane crashed into Boca Raton, Florida. Eyewitness News video showing that the plane in flames after going down near an overpass ramp near Interstate 95. Smoke and debris from the plane crashed, causing a driver to smash into a tree. The vehicle did catch fire, but the driver escaped without serious injury. The FAA and the NTSB are now investigating. Coachella Carmageddon. It's the first day of the Southern California Festival, and it became what some people are calling a nightmare for some just trying to get in. Campers reported being stuck in traffic to get into the festival. Some say they went more than 8 hours without access to water and restrooms. The weekend festival draws tens of thousands of music fans.
A very special delivery at Mount Sinai Hospital, bringing generations together in the most beautiful way. Meet baby Ileana. She was born today and is the 3rd generation in her family born at Mount Sinai. Her mom Alexis was born at the hospital in 1997. Her grandma Francisca back in 1977. And today Francisca works as a clinical nurse coordinator at Sinai, caring for the same community she's always called home.
I'm very, very happy. I felt very blessed to have my mom by my side, and I know she's seen it all, and I couldn't have a better person there to guide us.
From all of us here at ABC 7, congrats to the entire family, and a big happy birthday to baby Ileana.
Wow, generational gorgeousness.
It's great.
All there that day. All right. Well, from one family milestone to another monumental one about love and an unforgettable reunion.
In Blue Island today, 2 preschoolers at St. Walter St. Benedict School got the best surprise a kid could ask for. Their dad, Eduardo, just returned from a 10-month deployment with the Army National Guard in Jordan, and you see surprised them at school pickup.
I did not expect none of this to happen at all. I was just trying to come home, see my kids, be with them, give them the time they need, the 9 months that they missed out on, not me. They missed out on it, and I just want to make it up to them.
After nearly a year apart, the hugs were tight, the smiles were huge. As the school community cheered on this incredible reunion. What a great night for them tonight, too.
We love these. Never gets old, especially on a feel-good Friday. We're talking about gorgeous weather, too. Looking outside, Our city looks great heading into the weekend. We're talking about sunshine. We got plans outside. It might just work out for
Time
you.
to start the yard work, Cheryl.
Okay. Yep. Tulips are starting to bloom.
It's a good weekend, guys. We are looking clear, and we'll start the weekend off on a good note with plenty of sunshine. Right now, 43 degrees, high pressure and control. We are going to stay dry and clear through the next pretty much 24 hours almost before clouds increase for the second half of our weekend. These temps that we see right now, low to mid 40s, they're going to drop into the 30s overnight. So it still will be a chilly start to the weekend. But as we head into our Saturday afternoon, our tale of temps, we are going up to 60 degrees across the area. The exception, the lakefront, the pesky cool lake waters, keeping it cooler with that onshore breeze. So downtown Chicago, Northwest Indiana, anyone along the lake, it will be about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. As we go into our Sunday, south wind pretty much area wide, everyone getting close to 60. However, off to the south and west, some of you will be climbing into the mid to upper 60s. It will come with some cloud cover, but dry conditions really expected through our Saturday and Sunday. So we increase those clouds by Monday, some rain showers possible, but a beautiful forecast with temperatures near and above average. The exception tomorrow will be cooler along the lakefront. We have been so chilly this week, so we deserve this. And you can see a look at the country right now. High pressure and control. This is really good news because all of the flooding for folks in the middle of the country in the deep south and all of the severe weather that's been ongoing. So we're all catching a break in this region as we head through the day tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies. As we head into the late afternoon and evening, some high clouds beginning to pass on by. An isolated sprinkle can't be ruled out, but mainly dry. Sunday, again, we increase the clouds across the area, and then Monday morning we are looking at the threat of some rain moving through. This will be a quick hitting system, so nothing that's really going to impact things too much. But as we head into our Monday morning commute, plan accordingly for some rain. Up and down temperatures, but I know we see blue here mixed in with the above average. The takeaway is that all the high temperatures are at least in the 50s and 60s above average compared to this week when we had many days in the 40s. So for tonight, we are going to be chilly under mostly clear skies. We get you the sunshine for our Saturday. Sunday, increase the clouds a bit. Temps climbing close to 70 degrees. As we head into Monday, 63. We go down on Tuesday, back up on Wednesday, and on and off rain chances. The threat for scattered storms by Thursday. Back to you guys.
Cheryl, thank you. A conference designed to empower black women in business happening tonight at Malcolm X City College in Chicago. It's called She Owns It, She Biz, and it gives black women a chance to network, and organizers wanted to make sure to include black men as well.
So tonight, our very own Jose Sanders was honored for his work to help empower black women. Congratulations, Jose. You look so handsome out there. You're so deserving, and thank you for all that you do for everyone here and in the community as well.
So much in the community and so much here for us as well.
Yay.
Well, coming up, a downtown Chicago bridge closing for more than 6 months. It's not far from our State Street studio. This is for emergency repairs. We'll tell you exactly where.
More chances for families to check out the Brookfield Zoo for free. Yes, free this spring.
The State Street Bridge over the Chicago River is scheduled to close later this month for emergency repairs. The Chicago Department of Transportation says the bridge will close to all car and pedestrian traffic on Monday, April 28th. This work is expected to wrap up in November.
Pack your patience. Brookfield Zoo Chicago is making it easier for more families to join the fun. Families can now get in for free by presenting a SNAP benefit card and an ID at the gate. This offer admits up to 4 guests per cardholder per day. It is part of the zoo's Zoo for All initiative, making visits more welcoming and accessible for everyone. The timing of this perk couldn't be better because tomorrow everybody kicks off the zoo's very first Spring Fest. Look at that. Oh. And tonight, a new exhibit opening at the National Museum of Mexican Art, Stitches of the Soul, is a collective of women sharing stories and creating quilts. It is curated by Karina Yepeza, Chicago-born textile artist. The exhibit runs through October 12th.
Sports is next. Dale Miller's here tonight with a look at what's ahead. Hey.
Hey guys, the White Sox snapped their skid with an offensive performance they haven't had all season, while the Bulls offense continues to click as they surge towards the play-in. Highlights from the UC coming up next.
Sports on ABC 7, sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Needing to win one of their final 2 games to clinch the 9 seed in the East, the Bulls left nothing to question tonight against the Wizards in a near wire-to-wire home win, guaranteeing the play-in game next Wednesday on their home floor. Fan Appreciation Night at the UC, 95-year-old Ida Polson attending her first Bulls game in person, and wow, did her team put on a show. Nikola Vucevic spins in the paint for 2. He had another double-double. Julian Phillips in the starting lineup tonight found a sweet spot in the corner and did not miss. A couple of big 3-pointers in the third from him. A season-high 23 points. Bulls up a bunch, like by 30. Kobe White ahead to Matas Buzelis for the exclamation point. Bulls roll 119-89. Season wraps at Philly on Sunday. They're back home to host Miami in the play-in on Wednesday. Garrett Crochet was a first-round pick by the White Sox in 2020. Pitched 4 seasons with the team, but back-to-back 100-loss records made moving on easier for the former Southside ace, who was traded to Boston last December. He'll start against his former team on Sunday. Today he described how it feels to come back to town in different socks.
I didn't really make much of it. Coming back here, though, now that I'm here, it's cool. But, you know, still just trying to win a series. Got to start here, so that's really what I'm most focused on. Just comparing to where I was a year ago. Last year, obviously, with the White Sox, we weren't expecting to make the postseason. Everyone in the locker room was hoping to make the roster. This year, you know, we obviously have bigger aspirations. The sense of urgency was great in camp. The sense of veteran presence to your left and right, wherever you were in the clubhouse, was pretty huge. It felt like it was the big leagues, you know?
Crochet had to show his ID to get into the rate, but the fans still recognized him and then watched their team snap an 8-game slide. Jacob Amaya rips it down the left field line, driving in 2. White Sox jump out to a 2-0 lead. Davis Martin didn't need much more than that. 6 hits, 1 run, 6 Ks. Pitched into the 7th for the first time in his career, and the offense kept coming, exploding in the 4th. Miguel Vargas sends that into left field. 2 more runs score, part of a 4-run frame as the White Sox snap the skid. 11-1 the final, same 2 teams tomorrow afternoon. Craig Counsell says Justin Steele may be dealing with more than just elbow tendonitis and will seek a second opinion. That the news before the Cubs opened a weekend series against the Dodgers. Scoreless game. Cubs threatening in the 4th. Kyle Tucker at 3rd, but Yamamoto gets Michael Busch to go down swinging. It is still scoreless right now as they are headed to the 6th. Another beautiful day for golf at Augusta. 2nd round of the Masters. Justin Rose with the tee shot on the par 3 16. Sets him up perfectly for one of his 4 birdies. He is your leader right now at 8 under, 1 shot ahead of Bryson DeChambeau, who's hitting out of the sand here on 4, and he nails it. 1 of 5 birdies for him, carding a 68 today, while defending champion Scottie Scheffler had an average day. 5 bogeys, 5 birdies. He is 3 shots off the lead, but was the last one off the driving range tonight. I suspect he'll try to make a move this weekend, guys. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, if there's a guy to do it, it's going to be him.
Okay. No doubt.
Thanks, Deion. Just ahead tonight, the Breakfast Club reunion as the C2E2 Expo gets underway right here in Chicago.
But first, everybody, here's a look at what is next on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Hey, Jimmy.
Stay up and watch. No pants, no problem.
I spent probably a third of my life on flights, and I have seen what flight attendants have had to put up with.
Yeah.
I saw a woman drying her underwear on her tray table on a flight.
Cosplayers are battling it out at the Chicago C2E2 at McCormick Place this weekend. The pop culture convention also features several famous actors. That includes, hey, how you doing? Members of the Breakfast Club, Anthony Michael Hall and Judd Nelson, were out today signing autographs. They will be joined by the other Breakfast Club cast members this weekend. The 3-day festival ends on Sunday.
There's Darth Maul right there, you know, for those of you who like Star Wars. First time that the Breakfast Club has ever been together.
In 40 years, right?
Yes.
40 years, and it was filmed here in Chicago, so it's going to be really great.
You got to do the Judd Nelson thing when you walk out right over the field.
Don't you
I knew
forget about us. Have a great weekend.